headlines on this Tuesday afternoon, May 7th, here in South Korea. President Yoon Suk-yeol revives a post that he had previously discarded by tapping former prosecutor and attorney Kim Joo-hyun as Senior Secretary for Civil Affairs. The government's emergency healthcare measures will be extended for a month more to tackle the continued vacuum at major hospitals as doctors in training remain on strike. And prospects of a halt in violence in Gaza have been rendered uncertain as Israel claims the latest ceasefire proposal, which has been accepted by Hamas, fails to address its demands. The presidential office has reinstated the post of Senior Secretary for Civil Affairs to allow for enhanced communication with the public. And speaking of communication, President Yoon Suk-yeol is also poised to host a press conference later this week to mark the second anniversary of his inauguration. Our senior correspondent Oh Soo-young reports.
President Yoon Suk-yeol has named a Senior Secretary for Civil Affairs, reviving a post he previously scrapped, in a move to strengthen his communication with the public as he begins his third year in office this week. On Tuesday, Yoon himself announced he had re-established an office for civil affairs with former prosecutor and attorney Kim Joo-hyun as the head. This comes after the defeat of his ruling People Power Party at the April 10th general election. Yoon said he had failed to reflect the wishes of the people and vowed to reform the way he communicates and runs the country. During his presidential campaign, Yoon had pledged to streamline his administration to exclude the Secretary for Civil Affairs, citing previous misdeeds that occurred under the rule, including abuse of power over government bodies and the investigation of citizens. However, the president said on Tuesday he realized that the position had remained throughout successive governments in order to heed public opinion and better inform the management of state affairs. Kim pledged to do his best to ensure public opinion is reflected in the administration's policies and that issues experienced by citizens are resolved. In another move signaling change, President Yoon will hold a press conference on Thursday morning, according to spokesperson Kim Soo-young. A senior official said no questions are off the table. The press conference will aim to address a variety of topics within its roughly 1 hour timeframe, with the spokesperson moderating. Yoon's presser comes 21 months after his last media conference, which was for his 100th day in office. Since then, his media engagements have been limited, with the president even halting his impromptu question and answers or doorstepping sessions after a series of unsavory incidents with broadcaster NBC. However, experts say less communication may have adversely affected his public messaging.
I think that's really the key, I think, for him is not necessarily to reverse course on all his policies, because I think a lot of people do, I think, regard many of his policies as being very good for the country. It's just that I think partly is the way he presents it and the way his team has presented it, I think, up to this point in his administration.
As Yoon takes steps to make his approach to policy more inclusive and open to discussion, Yoon will deliver a video message to Korean citizens from his own office at 10 a.m. before his Thursday presser. He plans to explain how the administration has executed policies over the past 2 years and lay out what he plans to pursue for the next 3 years of his term. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.
The government is extending its emergency healthcare measures for 1 more month to better address the vacuum at major hospitals amid the prolonged walkout by doctors in training. Our Choi Soo-hyung has the latest.
The government will extend its financial support for the emergency medical system for 1 more month. On Tuesday, the Health Minister Cho Kyu-hong said the government will increase the financial support from May 11th amid the prolonged medical dispute following the mass exodus by trainee doctors. He also urged medical school professors to stop collective action regarding their statement on the 3rd to take a 1-week break if the medical school quota expansion is confirmed.
Some medical school professors are discussing a nationwide shutdown on May 10th and a 1-week collective halting of work if the expansion plan is confirmed. Please stop collective action, considering patients and their families who are fighting at the crossroads of life and death.
Since February, the government has been operating an emergency medical system to fill the medical gap due to collective action by trainee doctors opposing the government expansion plan. The emergency medical system is costing 190 billion Korean won, or almost $140 million each month. As part of the system, Minister Cho said the ministry will deploy an additional 36 military doctors. Currently, a total of 427 military and public health doctors are being deployed to hospitals which are facing significant shortages. Furthermore, the government plans to enhance support for specialized hospitals to the level of top-tier general hospitals. Meanwhile, the Presidential Special Committee on Medical Reform will hold a second meeting by the end of this week. Choi Soo-hyung, Arirang News.
Meanwhile, Korea's foreign exchange reserves have fallen amid efforts to stabilize the market. According to the Bank of Korea on this Tuesday, the country's foreign exchange reserves amounted to just over $413 billion at the end of April, down almost $6 billion on month. The bank is linking the drop to the sell-off of dollars to ease market fluctuations, as well as a decrease in foreign currency deposits and rampant dollar conversions of foreign currency assets. As of the end of March, Korea holds the 9th largest foreign exchange reserves worldwide. Also on the local front, the average monthly wholesale price of dried seaweed surged in April to surpass 10,000 won for the first time. According to the Korea Maritime Institute's Fisheries Outlook Center on this Tuesday, the price last month hit 10,089 won per pack, up 80.1% on year. The center links the high cost to greater overseas demand for dried seaweed and believe costs will remain between the 10,000 won and 11,000 won range throughout the year. A ceasefire deal crafted by mediators for peace in Gaza was embraced by the Palestinian militant group Hamas, but rejected by Israel. The latter, however, has voiced commitment to further talks for truce while also maintaining its attacks against Rafah. Our Lee Soo-jin reports.
Hopes of a ceasefire deal for Gaza have been cast in doubt as Israel carried out targeted attacks in Rafah. According to senior Israel Defense Force spokesman Daniel Hagari, the IDF hit some 50 facilities in the Rafah area, while Palestinian and Egyptian officials said Israeli tanks moved to the outskirts of Rafah on Monday night. This comes after the leadership of Hamas accepted the terms of a ceasefire deal proposed by mediators from Qatar and Egypt. However, Israel said it would not accept the deal. According to a statement released by the Israeli Prime Minister's office on Monday local time, the terms of the ceasefire were still far from meeting Israel's core demands, and its war cabinet voted unanimously to continue its military operations in Rafah. Israel, however, said that it will send its negotiators to talk to mediators to try to reach a ceasefire agreement on terms that are acceptable to Israel. On the same day, Hamas announced it accepted a three-phase deal for a ceasefire, saying that the ball was now in Israel's court. And the acceptance of the deal came just hours after Israel ordered an evacuation of some 100,000 Palestinians from Rafah, as it said that it would continue with its military operation in the area. The first part of the three-phase deal includes the release of 33 hostages taken from Israel in exchange for a 6-week-long pause in fighting, where Israel will allow Palestinians to freely move from the south of Gaza to the north. This would be followed by another 42-day truce, which would include the withdrawal of most of Israel's troops from Gaza and Hamas releasing several Israeli soldiers in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. The third and last phase would entail a full hostage swap, as well as clear guarantees for an end to the war from countries, including the United States. The U.S., which is one of the mediator countries in the talks alongside Qatar and Egypt, said that it is reviewing the response.
So I can confirm that Hamas has issued a response. We are reviewing that response now and discussing it with our partners in the region. We continue to believe that a hostage deal is in the best interests of the Israeli people. It's in the best interest of the Palestinian people. It would bring...
And in response to the Israeli government closing Al Jazeera's operations in the country, the U.S. voiced concerns, saying it supports press freedom across the world. Lee Soo-jin, Arirang News.
Over in Russia, a swearing-in ceremony to mark Vladimir Putin's new 6-year term in office takes place on this Tuesday, a day after his call for a military drill involving tactical nuclear weapons. Our Lee Seung-jae has details.
Just a day before the inauguration for his 5th term in office, Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday sent a warning to the West by ordering tactical nuclear weapons drills. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, the Southern Military District's missile units have begun preparations for tactical nuclear weapons drills set to take place in the near future with the participation of its Air Force and Navy. The ministry explained that Putin ordered the drills to defend Russian territory and ensure its sovereignty in response to provocative remarks and threats by the West. This comes as French President Emmanuel Macron raised the idea of sending European troops to fight Russia in Ukraine, while British Foreign Secretary David Cameron said that Ukraine has the right to use weapons provided by the UK to strike targets inside Russia. Moscow has also accused the U.S. and its European allies of pushing the world to the brink of a nuclear war by supporting Ukraine with tens of billions of dollars worth of weapons, some of which it says are being used against Russian territory. The Southern Military District is headquartered in southern Russia near the Ukrainian border. It operates in Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson regions, which Russia claims were newly incorporated during its special military operation. Meanwhile, Putin is set to be sworn in for the 5th time on Tuesday at an inauguration ceremony held in Moscow. Putin will be in power until at least 2030 and will be able to run for another 6-year term after the 2030 presidential election. The Russian leader has been in power since 1999 when he took over as acting president following the resignation of former President Boris Yeltsin. He also served as prime minister from 2008 to 2012. Putin won Russia's presidential election in March, receiving over 87% of the votes. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
Chinese leader Xi Jinping has kicked off his Europe tour with a visit to France. Our Ian Jin covers his diplomatic agenda.
Chinese leader Xi Jinping is on his first visit to Europe in 5 years, which started with a 2-day visit in Paris, where he met with his French and EU counterparts. The visit comes amid heightened economic and trade tensions, including the EU's investigation into China's electric vehicle exports and Beijing's anti-dumping probe on French cognac. Von der Leyen said after Monday's talks that the EU and China have a complex relationship and that Europe is willing to make tough decisions to protect its economy and national security. She also said a China that plays fair would benefit the global economy.
The world cannot absorb China's surplus production. Therefore, I have encouraged the Chinese government to address these structural overcapacities. At the same time, we will closely coordinate with G7 countries and emerging economies that are also increasingly affected by China's market distortions.
According to French diplomatic sources, Xi Jinping appeared receptive, but it was unclear whether that would lead to action. The Chinese leader reiterated that its relationship with Europe is a foreign policy priority. But according to Chinese media, he also told his counterparts that the problem of China's overcapacity does not exist. Also during the meetings in Paris, Macron urged the Chinese leader to use his influence on Russia to end the war with Ukraine. To further urge Xi, von der Leyen said that the EU is counting on Beijing to influence Moscow in a statement following the talks on Monday.
President Xi has played an important role in de-escalating Russia's irresponsible nuclear threats, and I'm confident that President Xi will continue to do so against the backdrop of the ongoing nuclear threats by Russia.
The Chinese leader will be in the Pyrenees Mountains on Tuesday before his visit to Serbia and Hungary later in the week. Ian Jin, Arirang News.
Organizers of the Paris Olympics are offering visitors to the Summer Games this year the chance to indulge in both athletics and art under a fresh initiative dubbed the Cultural Olympiad. Korea, for its part, is seeking to make most of the opportunity. My colleague Song Yoo-jin files this report from the French capital city.
Paris, after a century-long wait, will once again host the Olympics. Many say that the Paris Games will be a celebration of culture, reflecting the city's rich tapestry of art and deep appreciation of its heritage. Drawing attention in the build-up to the Games is the Cultural Olympiad, a cultural program that'll offer around 60,000 events until the Paralympics conclude. Among them is this dance showdown at the Théâtre du Châtelet in the heart of Paris. It's a clash of titans. Korea's 1 Million and France's Pokemon crew are battling it out on the dance floor. This is Urban Pulse Uprising, the opening event of the 2024 Korea season, officially recognized under the Cultural Olympiad label by the Paris 2024 Organizing Committee.
With the Paris Summer Olympics starting in July, from today, around 30 national art companies and cultural organizations from Korea will help promote traditional and modern Korean culture for the next 6 months. We hope Korean art and culture will flourish here in Paris, known as the City of Art.
Hosted by the Culture Ministry since 2022, the Korea season is dedicated to promoting Korean culture worldwide by organizing a wide range of programs in a selected country throughout the year. For this year, the first spotlight shines on breakdancing, as it's set to debut as an official Olympic sport in Paris 2024. After 70 minutes of individual performances, there's a 20-minute dance battle. 1 Million is famous for its catchy K-pop choreography and boasts of the highest number of subscribers for a dance channel on YouTube.
The Olympics is a global celebration, and performing here in the host city is exhilarating. We hope we can showcase K-culture and promote a positive global image through our performance.
I believe breakdancing was chosen as an official Olympic event because of its blend of technical skill and artistic expression, much like figure skating.
Pokemon Crew has been a heavyweight in the street dance scene for 2 decades, clinching numerous breakdancing championship titles.
In the past, this theater was reserved exclusively for the elite. Now, the fact that it hosts popular cultural things like hip-hop and K-pop sends a beautiful message. A space once accessible only to a select few is now open to all.
A complete sellout of tickets for over 1,000 seats, it's evidence of the rising popularity of K-culture in France, raising expectations for a successful Korea season this year.
K-pop has taken France by storm. It's not uncommon to hear young children sing Korean songs and follow the fashion of K-pop artists. K-culture has truly become a cultural phenomenon among the younger generation.
So with Thursday's opening performance, the 2024 Korea season has officially kicked off. The program will run across the French capital until October. 송유진, Arirang News, Paris.
And now, imagine a laboratory that is run by robots who are supervised by artificial intelligence, because these smart labs are looking to shape future research endeavors. Our Yoon explains.
This is what was recorded on a CCTV of an unmanned laboratory. There are no people, but several robots are working on something, and it doesn't seem to be a simple, repetitive task. This is an experiment where nanoparticles with optical properties are being developed, and the experiment is being analyzed and conducted by AI. Similar to entering the final destination on a GPS map application, the desired ultimate result is entered, and the AI finds a way to carry out the experiment. This method has been shown to be highly efficient, as what would take humans roughly 10,000 attempts of trial and error, the AI was able to produce in 200 tries.
We don't know the conditions of the experiment, so if we take 4 random input values, the AI collects related data of the properties and synthesis of each experiment. It analyzes the correlation between the substances and produces a result very close to our goal.
A great advantage of the entire experiment being carried out by a robot is that it eliminates any deviation that may occur from human error, which means more precise data can be obtained. This unmanned laboratory has actually been successful in developing silver nanoparticles for solar battery cells that Korean scientists didn't have data for.
Ultimately, the future of R&D is going to use smart laboratories, so it is important that there is a setup where the average researcher who is not familiar with computer programming is able to conduct research.
The research team that developed this unmanned laboratory has also developed a system that automatically detects electronics overheating or other such situations that could lead to accidents, such as fires. Lee In-hee, Arirang News.
Let's take a look at the latest news in the world now. In Brazil, catastrophic floods in the southern state of Rio Grande do Sul over the past week have killed at least 83 and injured 276, while at least 111 people remained missing as of Monday. According to the Civil Defense Unit of Rio Grande do Sul on Monday, the floods also displaced over 120,000 people, while more than 850,000 residents in over 345 municipalities were affected by destroyed or damaged homes, roads, and other infrastructure. Military firefighters have been dispatched for rescue missions, with more active operations set to begin once the rain stops. While weather conditions improved on Monday, local weather forecaster Metsul Meteorologia said the rains could pick up again from May 10th. In Mexico City, cannons were fired on Sunday to kick off the annual celebration of Cinco de Mayo. Now in its 94th year, Cinco de Mayo marks the Battle of Puebla on May 5, 1862, when Mexican soldiers were victorious over Napoleon Bonaparte's French forces during the Second Franco-Mexican War. Traditional festivities took place in El Peñón de los Baños district in Mexico City, where local families and residents took part in a parade. Locals were also seen wearing period costumes as part of a reenactment of the historic battle against the French. In France, bakers in the suburbs of Paris have baked the world's longest baguette. The baguette, which was 140.53 meters long, was baked on Sunday during an event for the French Confederation of Bakers and Pastry Chefs. It was approved by the Guinness World Records judge as the longest baguette in the world, allowing the French bakers to reclaim the title back from Italy as the previous record of 132.62 meters set in Italian city of Como in 2019 was broken. The lengthy baguette was cut and shared with the public, with the majority donated to homeless people. Kim Xiang, Arirang News.
Good afternoon. Summer-like conditions on Saturday turned into wet and cloudy Children's Day, and since then, on and off rain continues in most places. Southern regions will see 5 to 30 millimeters of more rain, but the capital area will see fewer showers. Rain will go away from the capital and west of Gangwon-do this afternoon, but southern regions should brace for more rain through early tomorrow. Temperatures in the capital will be a couple of degrees higher this afternoon, but southern regions will notice highs going down 4 to 7 degrees lower than yesterday. For a closer look, Seoul gets up to 18 degrees, Daejeon sees a highs of 17 degrees Celsius, but Jeju will be sunny all day with a high of 21 degrees. The air quality will be decent nationwide all day today. Then pleasant weather returns tomorrow with sunnier skies. Then the weather should stay fine through the rest of the week with big temperature differences between lows and highs. With that in mind, let's take a look at the international weather conditions.
Well, those are the headlines at this hour here in South Korea. Coming up next is our daily panel session, so do stay with us.
헤어져도 괜찮아 여기서 만나가고 싶을 거야.
Exports of Korean cosmetics soared over 20% on year in the first quarter of this year to hit a record high of some $2.3 billion. So what is fueling the popularity of K-beauty products overseas? Which export markets are buying the bulk of K-beauty products? And what has been the impact of K-entertainment on the popularity of K-beauty? Hope your work week is off to a good start. It's Tuesday afternoon, May 7th here in South Korea. I'm Min San-hee. Today we delve into the popularity of K-beauty products overseas and more. For this, I have YouTuber Kenza live on the line. Kenza, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I also have SOAR in the studio with me. SOAR, welcome.
Happy to be here, Sunny.
Kenza, we'll start with you. Let's begin with your journey to becoming a K-beauty YouTuber. How did it start?
Well, I first came to Korea in 2014 as a normal international student, but I was sharing rooms with Korean roommates. That said, I have seen how they did their skincare routine, how they did their makeup, but what was a bit of a culture shock for me is their morning and night routines, which were a bit intense and astonishing, I would say, at the same time, to the point that I couldn't stop staring at them. I remember having like one cleanser, one moisturizer, and one sunscreen back then, which make it 3 products, but they had an entire basket for just cleansing products only and about 5 to 10 steps of skincare routine, which was like crazy for me back then. But the glow on their skin reflected it all, and their makeup would last the whole day. And while mine back at then, I guess it didn't even last a few hours because the weather in Korea was really humid. Anyways, it was amazing, and I was so determined to learn their secrets. I wanted to learn how they did everything from A to Z. So I started asking them questions. I would go and I would buy the same products that they would be using, and it all started back then. Yeah, I would buy the products, I would apply them, I would see the change on my skin, and starting then I started documenting my journey with K-beauty products.
Right, and this is an impromptu question, Kenza. What has been the response from your YouTube viewers with regard to your documentation, that is?
Yeah, well, at first, like, K-beauty was not as popular as it is right now. So at first, I didn't have the response I'm having right now, but while K-beauty started getting more and more popular, people started like buying the products and seeing the fast change. So they would compare the Western beauty and skincare products with the Korean skincare products, and they would see and they would acknowledge that K-beauty products were they would have fast results. They would see fast results. So yeah, starting then, I guess a lot of people started getting more and more interested in the K-beauty industry, and a lot of people started asking me questions. How can I apply my toner? What does a serum mean? What does a moisturizer mean? What are the right steps to apply Korean skincare products? And yeah, still a lot of people are getting interested day by day.
Right, indeed. Well, global interest in K-beauty has been increasing over the years. So I hear exports of Korean beauty products saw a remarkable rise in the first quarter of this year. Tell us more.
Right, Sunny. Korea's cosmetics exports in the January to March period hit an all-time high for the first quarter, raising hopes for the entire year of 2024 in the K-beauty sector. Korea's outbound shipments of cosmetics reached $2.3 billion in Q1 this year, which is a surge by almost 22% from the same quarter last year, as well as the year before, when the figure stood at $1.9 billion. And that is a drop from $2.2 billion in 2021. And 2021 was also the year Korea posted an all-time high in K-beauty product exports for the whole year. Now, amid falling demand from China, exports fell to $8 billion in 2022, but a rebound to $8.5 billion was experienced last year. So we are seeing ups and downs here, and it's a variety of products that are gaining more and more popularity overseas. Outbound sales of skincare products soared around 26% on year in the first quarter, surpassing $1 billion. But it's also color cosmetics like lipsticks and nail polish, wrinkle sticks, face powder, mask packs, and hair care products that were in high demand.
Right. I understand. So underscore that there's also been a tangible shift in export market for Korean beauty products.
Right, just like the variety of products that are being exported now, this variety is also being observed in the countries Korea is shipping to. Now, as I briefly mentioned, exports to China have declined in the recent past, but while the dependence on China is going down, record high figures are observed in other places. Now, if we take a look at the largest cosmetic export destinations in the first quarter, China was still on top with $610 million, followed by the US, Japan, and Vietnam at $380, $240, and $150 million, respectively. However, what's notable is that the figures for those three countries were all record high figures. Now, not only that, Korea's beauty items were shipped to the biggest number of countries ever in Q1, 175, with record high figures achieved in 110 of them. As part of the government's export target in total of $700 billion in 2024, it also plans to expand its export policies to support the K-beauty industry by making investments into new markets in the Americas, the Middle East, as well as the ASEAN region.
Right, good to know. Kenza, what do you believe is behind the global popularity of K-beauty products?
Well, the global popularity of K-beauty products can be attributed to several factors. I would say both quality and cost played a big role in its popularity. Well, K-beauty products often feature innovative formulations that do combine Korean traditional ingredients with the modern skincare technology. For example, using ginseng or snail mucin or other natural ingredients or herbal ingredients that has been used in the Korean traditional medicine, I would say. So this focus on innovation appeals to consumers who are looking for effective solutions for their skincare concerns. And unlike some Western beauty trends that prioritize makeup over skincare, the K-beauty market actually places a strong emphasis on skincare. The Korean skincare routine typically involves multiple steps. The 10-step skincare routine is very popular on social media. And we have cleansing step, toning step, moisturizing, applying serums and masks, and also a big emphasis on sunscreen. And this approach actually resonates with consumers who prioritize healthy and radiant skin over makeup. And of course, there are many affordable options. K-beauty is known to be affordable, and we have a variety of range prices that allows consumers with different budgets to explore and incorporate K-beauty into their skincare routines.
Right.
So, yeah.
I have to agree with you with regard to the cost, though. We have a wide range of products at a wide range of costs. Kenza, industry insiders claim that K-entertainment has also had a very big impact on K-beauty. Do you agree?
Of course, I do agree. K-entertainment as well has played a key role in popularizing Korean culture around the world. And the audiences outside of Korea became more exposed to Korean music, movies, K-dramas, and also they became interested in other aspects of Korean culture from the K-entertainment industry. And one of these aspects are actually beauty practices and food as well. So Korean celebrities often have flawless and very youthful looking skin, and many K-pop idols, actors, actresses are chosen as brand ambassadors for K-beauty companies as well. So I think that their endorsement helped promote these products to the global audience as well. And we have a variety of shows, Korean shows, that often feature scenes where the character uses skincare products, or they do discuss beauty routines. And yeah, I do guess that these instances, they served as a form of product placement and exposed viewers to various K-beauty brands and K-beauty products. So fans of K-pops and fans of actors and actresses, they wanted to get these products and try them, and they wanted to emulate the appearance of their idols. So yeah, they started using these products, and they started sharing them with their families and friends and on social media, and it got a big boom.
Right, it's causing quite a bit of a craze then. So as some say, the high quality of K-beauty products has much to do with the consumption patterns of Koreans. Could you explain?
Well, Sunny, are you familiar with the term Czech-sumer, or are you a Czech-sumer?
I don't think I'm a Czech-sumer. I'm not very familiar with the term.
Well, actually, I wasn't either, but I believe Kenza is probably a Czech-sumer. But it is a Korean slang word. I should say it in the Korean word Czech-sumer. And as the name says, it is someone who makes sure to check or examine closely what he or she buys. So that is the consumption pattern we're seeing here. Consumers do not rely on expensive and famous products anymore. They are increasingly looking beyond the brand name. Now, many Koreans research a lot before making a purchase to check by themselves the safety, quality, and cost effectiveness of products. Cosmetics being one of the frequently checked out items. And this is done online mainly by reading product reviews or on blogs, or watching them on YouTube, sharing information on social media, and meticulously checking ingredients. Now, the latter can also be done on mobile apps that cater to Czech-sumers and have gained lots of popularity. Now, according to the Beauty Trend Report 2020 by consumer data platform Open Survey, around 70% of women aged 20 to 40 considered ingredients when buying cosmetics. And the older the age, the more important ingredients were to them.
Right, I'd have to agree. So the K-beauty market, it also includes a healthy presence of small and mid-sized businesses, I am told. Could you tell us a bit about this particular reality?
Right, the domestic beauty market was pretty much dominated by large companies before the COVID-19 pandemic, that is. In recent years, we are seeing a seismic shift with small and medium-sized beauty brands going mainstream. So why is that? For one, there's growing demand for diverse beauty brands consumers can choose from. According to the Ministry of Food and Drug Safety, the number of responsible cosmetic sellers in Korea in 2013 was 3,884. As of October last year, it stood at over 32,000. And if we look at the number of actual brand numbers, the figure is estimated to be higher. Industry insiders say it's not an exaggeration to say that a new cosmetics brand is born every day. The market share of Korea's major cosmetics makers, Amore Pacific, LG Household and Healthcare, and Aegyeong Industrial combined, decreased from 62% in 2018 to 53% in 2022. The rapid growth of smaller beauty brands can also be attributed to original equipment manufacturer and original design manufacturer companies like Kolmar Korea and Cosmax that make it easy and fast for SMEs to create their brands and products. And also popular health and beauty retailer Olive Young under CJ Group contributed to the rise of small and mid-sized beauty brands, with around 80% of its products being made by domestic SMEs, as well as its quick response to the pandemic through delivery services and focus on its online business at home and abroad. And just in general, with consumers turning more to online to purchase their beauty products since the COVID-19 pandemic, e-commerce platforms helped a lot in the proliferation of SME brands.
Right, of course. And Kenza, on a more somber note, the global demand for K-beauty products has also led to the emergence of counterfeit goods. How does this reality, do you think, affect the popularity of genuine Korean beauty products?
Well, I guess that counterfeit products can erode consumer trust in the authenticity and safety of K-beauty brands. Consumers may become hesitant to purchase the genuine Korean beauty product, fearing that they might maybe unknowingly purchase the counterfeit good instead. So I believe that counterfeit products can cause adverse reactions or skin irritations that can damage the reputation of the genuine Korean beauty brand. But actually, despite these challenges, I guess that genuine Korean beauty products continue to maintain the popularity due to their quality, innovation, and effective marketing strategies. And brands are nowadays trying to raise more awareness, creating more content about how to find or how to make a difference between a counterfeit good and a legit one. So yeah, I think that creating more content about it and raising awareness will do.
Right. So global interest in K-beauty also goes beyond its beauty products to cosmetic procedures, I hear. Could you tell us about how this is affecting perhaps other sectors of our market?
Sure. So it's not just about K-cosmetics, but Korea has established itself as a mecca for dermatology care, cosmetic procedures, and plastic surgery. So that image having only grown on the back of the popularity of Korean idols and actors who appear on screen with flawless skin, with their secret behind that known to be the hands of Korean skincare specialists and doctors in many cases. This is having a positive impact on Korea's tourism industry, as more and more foreigners like to come on a K-beauty vacation. And for quick cosmetic procedures, it's even more convenient to take a few days off rather than coming for bigger surgeries. According to data from Korean tax refund agency Global Tax Free, the number of foreign patients who received medical services in Korea last year stood at 305,000, that is, and that is a 9-fold increase from the previous year. And it was also nearly 4 times higher than in 2019 before the outbreak of COVID-19. Now, apart from the beauty tourism sector, the demand for Korean cosmetic procedures is also affecting the clinics themselves. Medical establishments that feature famous actors in their commercials are often booked months in advance and are having difficulties in hiring more and more employees that speak foreign languages. And in popular streets like Gangnam, which is abundant of skincare clinics and hospitals, you'll find huge outdoor advertisements of not only clinics, but also mobile apps for medical platforms. And this is also seen in newest hip neighborhoods in the capital Seoul, like Seongsu-dong as well.
Right, I'd have to agree with you right there. Very briefly speaking, so what do you propose to keep global interest in K-beauty strong?
Well, first off, maintaining the interest in Korean beauty items through other K-contents like dramas has to be maintained, I believe. And also making K-beauty vacations not a one-time experience, but making those tourists come back for those experiences is another important thing, I believe. And that's also being done through packages, in fact, that include skincare plus accommodations, for instance. And one thing I believe is also important is having 1 or 2 brands that are as competitive as really big names like L'Oreal, Lancome, Estee Lauder, or Shiseido, and those are from like France, the US, and Japan. So maybe we would need some like big name in Korea here as well.
Right. And Kenza, what would you suggest to keep K-beauty products ahead of the global competition?
Well, there are several strategies that can be employed, but as a K-beauty influencer or as a beauty influencer, I think that these brands should continue to prioritize research and development of their formulations and products and address evolving consumer needs and preferences as well. Well, this could involve incorporating cutting-edge ingredients, developing sustainable packaging solutions, or maybe leveraging technology for personalized skincare solutions. I do also suggest recognizing the diverse range of skin types, tones, and concerns among the global consumers, because we do actually have a lot of skin tones for the global consumers, but they still lack a lot of, for example, foundation tones or cushion tones. So this makes the K-beauty, especially color makeup products, a bit lacking comparing to the Western products, or maybe I would say offering inclusive product ranges and marketing campaigns that celebrate diversity.
Right. Kenzo, we have like about a minute or two left. Could we end with a few words about your future plans as a K-beauty YouTuber? Very short response.
Yeah, well, as a K-beauty influencer, my future plans, of course, revolve around further establishing myself as a trusted voice in the K-beauty community. Also, I would love to launch my own skincare and beauty brand using special ingredients from both Korea and my birth country, which is Morocco.
All right. Well, best of luck in your future endeavors, and thank you so much for making time to be with us live, Kenza. It was a pleasure having you. And so here in the studio, thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you, Sunny.
Right. Well, that ends this edition of Issues and Insiders. Thank you for watching. Be sure to join us at the same time tomorrow.